On a rainy night, a girl named Faye is hiding from someone. She walks barefoot to avoid drawing attention to herself. Suddenly Faye sees several people surrounding her exact copy. It's just another one of Faye's recurring nightmares. Until last summer she had a perfect childhood, no worries, loving parents and vacations by the sea. 15-year-old Faye couldn't have asked for more. But everything collapsed when, during one of their trips, Faye's father suddenly felt a tremor in his hands and lost consciousness. The doctors diagnosed a severe form of sclerosis. Grief made the girl stronger, but another part of her grew weaker. But which part is the real Faye? Who will remain, and who will disappear? The girl continues going to school while her father's condition rapidly deteriorates. Unexpectedly, Faye is cast in the lead role in the school play. Monica, who is chosen as her understudy, is clearly offended by this. Later, Monica tells Faye that she got the role out of pity. Everyone knows her father is terminally ill, and they feel sorry for her. Faye's friends advise her to ignore the loser. Obviously Monica is just jealous. Faye tries not to think about anything bad as she walks down dark streets, just like in her nightmares. Suddenly Drew startles her as a joke, and she flinches. He's been cast as the male lead in the school play, so they'll have to rehearse together. Faye can't shake the feeling that an invisible shadow is following her everywhere, her own reflection. Faye's mother is constantly working late, as she now has to support the family on her own. The girl's father, Don, is proud that she got the lead role in the play, and comes home from work and asks how Faye is doing. But the girl doesn't answer and simply walks away. Lately, tension has filled the house. Faye wishes everything could go back to the way it was, but at the same time she knows she can't hide from her fears forever. The next morning, mother and daughter get stuck in the elevator with their elderly neighbor, Mrs. Brennan. It's not the first time this has happened. Mrs. Brennan mentions that she saw Faye taking the stairs yesterday. The girl denies using the stairs since they moved in, and heads to work, and Faye sets off for school using her usual route through the underpass. The feeling that someone is following her still won't leave her. The first rehearsal of the school play begins. Faye frequently forgets her lines, unable to focus. Monica is clearly enjoying it. Faye needs some fresh air and walks down the school hallway. At some point she senses someone nearby and starts running, convinced someone is chasing her. Running into classmates, Faye tells them what happened. Monica accuses her of trying to get attention again. Could Monica be the one who's been following Faye? After rehearsal, Drew offers to walk Faye home, but she says her mom is picking her up, and is doing everything she can to mend her relationship with her daughter, but Faye just responds with sarcasm, and takes care of her beloved husband, while Faye still can't fully come to terms with the situation. She often posts depressing images on social media. Faye wishes she could be someone else, strong and confident. Where is that Faye? Days go by, school classes and rehearsals continue. Faye and Drew have embraced their roles, playing a couple in love. Monica is going crazy with jealousy. On her way home, Faye sees her exact double at the bus stop. Stuck in the elevator, Faye feels a rising panic. She knows for sure, she's not alone. Fortunately the elevator doors open, and Faye, on the edge of breaking down, enters her apartment but avoids being seen by her parents. They're very worried about her. Don wants his wife to go out with her friends, for the first time in a long time, and doesn't mind staying home, but Don insists. Faye finds her mother crying in the bathroom, and tries to pretend everything's fine. Don knows his wife has a lover but doesn't judge her. Today Faye finds out too. She sees them together in his car. Faye continues watching through the window, seeing a hooded girl approach her mother's lover's car. The father interrupts Faye, worried about her recent behavior. In the morning before heading to school, Faye asks her father where mom is. He replies that she's been at work for a while, but Faye heard someone's voice. Drew has been showing interest in Faye. Ever since rehearsals started, they've grown very close. Later, as she leaves the apartment, Faye runs into Mrs. Brennan and greets her. The woman claims that Faye walked out of the apartment just a minute ago and assumes it's a silly prank. Faye runs down the stairs trying to catch up to a girl who looks just like her. But the stranger seems to vanish into thin air, and the neighbors say they didn't see anyone leave. Faye chops off her luxurious hair and tells her friends at school that someone pretending to be her is following her. Of course it sounds completely insane. When Anne picks up her daughter from school and asks what happened to her hair, Faye ignores the question. The teachers have already told Anne about Faye's strange behavior lately, and she asks her daughter to share what's bothering her. Faye says that she sees her double everywhere. At that moment Anne confesses that Faye had a twin sister, but there were complications during the pregnancy, and Anne lost one of the girls. What she hears comes as a shock to Faye. Her mother says they named the other girl Layla and buried her. Later, Anne takes Faye to a beauty salon to fix her hair. Mother and daughter become close again, like before. At home, Don hugs his daughter, telling her that she has to be strong and not feel sad because of him. Sadly, he won't be able to protect her anymore. Faye says she wishes her sister were alive. Of course Dawn wishes that too. However, the nightmares about her twin sister don't stop haunting Faye. Changing her look didn't help. But despite it all, Faye tries to live the life of a regular teenager, and she's even succeeding. At rehearsal, Faye and Drew did an excellent job. Monica is about to explode with jealousy, angry that she's not the one in the spotlight. Faye and Drew go out for coffee. The girl shares that she recently found out about her twin sister, who died before they were even born. Now that she knows the truth, Faye misses Layla. Drew doesn't like seeing Faye sad. He walks her home, and they have a sweet chat. It's clear that something more than just classmates' friendship is developing between them. The elevator is broken, so Faye climbs the stairs and finds that her father has fallen from his wheelchair. Don insists he's fine. Suddenly Faye finds a photo of herself and her identical twin in their mother's womb. She makes a copy and hangs it on the wall in her room. When Faye realizes that the director of the school play, acting teacher John Moffat, is actually her mother's secret lover, she's shocked. Since then, she's been trying to avoid him, but rehearsals make that impossible. When John mentions that he saw her at the playground that morning, Faye says she went through the underpass. He assumes it was Monica. Seeing that Monica got the exact same haircut, Faye beats up her classmate in front of the whole school. Right after that, Faye is called to the principal's office. Faye insists that Monica is pretending to be her and that she's crazy. The principal assures her that Monica arrived at school early today through the back entrance, so she couldn't have been at the playground. Faye cuts her palm, at least this way they can be told apart. While her wound is being stitched up in the nurse's office, the nurse says the scar might be permanent, and has no idea how to help her daughter. Their life is falling apart, their family happiness is now a thing of the past. Faye demands her mother stop seeing John. The girl is convinced that's the only reason she got the lead role in the school play, and knows there's no point denying the affair and promises to end it. In the evening, Drew comes over to see Faye and make sure she's okay after what happened at school. Drew genuinely worries about Faye, finding her a very interesting girl. They kiss for the first time that same evening and breaks up with John, keeping her promise. Don sees his wife stepping out of John's car in tears. John too is devastated by the breakup. Faye and Drew are spending a lot of time together. But Faye doesn't know that an unseen shadow continues to follow her, and feels unbearable guilt toward her husband and cries. He keeps saying that everything is fine. The family's life seems to be getting back on track. Taking advantage of her parents' absence, Drew comes over. Things between them are moving fast. Unfortunately, Don's doctor doesn't bring him or his wife any good news. The illness is progressing. Soon after, Anne meets John in the park because she needs support, while her daughter is enjoying her first love. But Faye still can't shake off a feeling of anxiety. Not long after, John gets into an accident. Right now, doctors are fighting for his life in intensive care. A police officer explains that a girl threw a rock at John's windshield. The officer also mentions that there was a woman in the car with John, but she wasn't hurt. Faye immediately realizes he's talking about her mother. She is also convinced that the girl who caused the crash was her twin sister, and stays in her room all evening, claiming to have a migraine. In the morning, Faye pretends to feel unwell and asks her mother to let her skip school. When Anne leaves for work, Faye heads to the hospital to see John. His condition is now stable. Rehearsals continue, but without John. Drew whispers a thank you to Faye for the photo she left in his locker. But Faye didn't leave any photo. Moreover, everyone says she was at rehearsal yesterday, even though Faye insists she wasn't even at school. Everyone thinks she's going crazy. Feeling like she's losing her mind, Faye opens up to her father about what she's going through. Don admits that he too often feels Layla's presence and sees her. Don tells his daughter how 15 years ago, and suddenly felt unwell while pregnant in the underpass. She was rushed to the hospital, and the doctors said they could only save one of the babies. Don had to sign all the paperwork, or he risked losing all three of them. It seemed like a reasonable deal, one life for the sake of another. Don never told Anne he was the one who signed the papers, carrying this burden alone all these years. At first, Don thought he was the only one who saw Layla's ghost, but he was wrong. She had always been with them, hiding in the shadows. Layla stayed in the world of the living to take revenge. Don warns Faye that if she doesn't look at her twin, Layla won't be able to hurt her. But Faye is determined to face her unborn sister, and her father can't stop her. Faye goes to that very underpass and comes face to face with her twin, who wants to punish their family for not letting her live. And Layla won't back down. When Faye returns, she sees police cars. Her father has been found lifeless. Supposedly it was an elevator accident. And hugs her daughter in tears. Some time passes. Drew apologizes to Faye for not being there when she needed him most. But Faye isn't angry, her mind is consumed by something else. Today is the premiere of the school play. John is hoping and will come. No one knows that the girl on stage isn't really Faye. Layla has taken over her twin sister's body to reclaim the years she was denied.